The ankle lock is one where I'm like, yeah, what do you do? I know
Mm,
firsthand or first foot what I can't do
mm.
anything. So I like it. I'm gonna go for a submission this time. See if I can
Mhm.
slide my pick in for a submission because I imagine we're gonna want a submission on this. But I'm gonna go with the ankle lock, and for particular sake, I'm gonna go for Ken Shamrock's. I know we can talk about is whose is what, but I've loved Ken Shamrock's. He's like the first one I saw again. I always am interested with like the first of things. So he was the first one I saw do it. He's just insane. And then personally too, living in Alaska, my brother would work in the evenings. He'd work in Safeway as a bag boy, or what they would call a courtesy clerk. But really, he was a bag boy. He bagged people's groceries, but they didn't want to call them bag boys. So he's a courtesy clerk. And he would get home late while he was working. I was playing the video games. I was playing WCW NWO Revenge. The fruit of his labor was coming my way. And
Mm.
he would take that out on me when he'd get home full of energy and just whip an ankle lock on me. So, like, I've been on the receiving end of
Whoa.
many, many ankle locks. But I love it. I love the cleanness, the simplicity of it, and just the effectiveness. There's
Mm.
a lot of submissions I see where I'm going, clearly his head is right here. Just, poke him in the eye or like just do something to like he's right there. They're sitting there screaming. They're doing
Mm.
their little narrative, their pageantry of the pain. And it's like, yeah, but you can solve this problem.
Mm.
And it always takes me out of it. The ankle lock is one where I'm like, yeah, what do you do? I know
Mm.
firsthand or first foot what I can't do
Mm.
anything. So I like it. There's probably other submissions that people prefer, but for me, I think that's got to be like the best one.
Yeah.
And then if you want to take that other level where there's another stage to it that Kurt Angle would do where he drop down and
Yeah.
like wrap his legs around it. And I
Mm.
even like when submissions have this tier system of maneuvers. But I got to go with my boy Ken Shamrock.
Mm.
When I started watching it again as a teenager, like that one, I
Mm.
was like, oh my God, that is just
Mm.
brutal. But the simplicity of it was something I
Yeah.
really appreciated.
Yeah, that's really good. That's one of the ones where I kind of like maybe it's more so the move than who actually did the move because I think Kurt Angle's is so iconic. And I love Kurt's for so many different reasons. There's a great match with The Undertaker and Kurt Angle from maybe 2003, where the entire match, Kurt Angle just keeps finding ways to put on the ankle lock, and every single one of them is different. And you never see Undertaker have a match like that, where the whole match revolves around if he can get that ankle lock on, he's going to win. And that was the story of the match. And the grapevine was obviously a great part of that as well. What I liked about Ken Shamrock's was that when he had it on and he had like snapped, you couldn't get him to take it off. You know what I mean? It was like he had a vice grips on. You'd have people come up and like hit him with chairs, and he's not letting go of that ankle. Like it was holding on like forever. But I think that
Yeah.
like if we did get down to like putting it on the Mount Rushmore, I think I'd feel a bit more comfortable. It was just the ankle lock because I think Angles is as important
Yeah.
as Ken Shamrock's. So how do we feel about that?
I have the
Yeah,
angle lock on mine because I
yeah,
think
Oh
like when
yeah.
it's on my list as well. I think like when you have someone who perfects the move and has kind of a
mm,
name, the ankle lock, and obviously
mm,
works with his name, the
mm,
angle lock. But like when they bring it to that next level, and as you guys
mm,
both pointed out, the grapevine, he made it tiered. It just
mm,
felt so dangerous. Now, I'll admit I wasn't really around watching wrestling for Ken Shamrock, but I've seen
mm,
clips
Mm.
and it's terrifying.
yeah.
So he sold it so well, you know. But
It's
I
the
do
intensity.
love
Yeah.
it's the intensity is there, but I loved it. I knew it from Kurt
Mm,
and
mm,
saw it in so many matches, and it was he had two finishes. Well,
mm,
third he had the moonsault sort of thing as well,
mm.
but I'd be going with the ankle lock. But if we couldn't get there, I'd go with the ankle lock because I think it to me it's one of the most convincing finishers.
I could even see the angle lock though, because one person took it like it was a mid-card submission and then it became a main event
Mm,
submission.
Mm,
So more people know it as Kurt Angle's.
mm,
Totally fine. I do want to give
mm.
Shamrock his flowers though.
absolutely.
But yeah,
We did,
it's also Kurt Angle, like one of the best who's ever
yeah.
done
Mm,
it. But it's just my boy was the first one. I think probably the first one who
Mm,
ever did it
mm,
as well. It's so associated
mm,
with Kurt Angle. And then surprisingly it became an Olympian submission, which makes
mm,
no sense whatsoever.
mm,
Because well, like Jack Swagger did it, did Chad
mm,
Gable do it later?
yeah,
Why
yeah,
are
yeah,
mm.
yeah.
But
the wrestlers
they're
doing
all they're all just like they're all just copies of Kurt Angle, though. In fairness,
yeah.
like Shamrock did an interview with Chris Van Vliet fairly recently, and the question came up about the ankle lock, and it's like, "Are you annoyed that Kurt Angle took your ankle lock?" And he was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" It's like, that move was taught to me. It was taught to him.
Yeah.
It's like any move is their own. It's not my move. Like, I'm like, yeah, you're right. Like, you know, he made it great, but he's not taking away from you. He's not stealing. You know.
I think a great thing as well that elevated the ankle lock at the time was who was around him. So Chris Benoit, his finish was a submission. They had a great rivalry. Jericho, he had a submission as a finish as well. So Angle was often in a match with guys who had submissions. And it was that great thing of submission versus submission. And even then you'd have the triple threat matches and all that kind of stuff. And you'd end up with like them all applying their submission on each other.
Yeah.
And it was just crazy.
Like yeah.
And I love that. I love that. Like, you know, and then they'd like maybe have a tag match and you have like, I remember Jericho and Benoit as tag team. And like they'd be both applying their tap out finishes at the same time. It's fucking brilliant. Like, it was a great time for submission wrestling.
For sure. All right. Well, I'm feeling good now. I got two.
That's real good.
Two.
Real good.
Yeah.